Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel. So, were people always aware of Klay Thompson's behavior and his tendency to be to have no loyalty to the person he's in a relationship with? Like, have we always known this, or is this news that people have stumbled upon recently? Because I could have sworn not very long ago, a few months ago, this man was being portrayed to be the second coming of Christ, and the way that he was described as this amazing person and just the perfect guy, not like the average male rapper that have the worst reputation when it comes to the way they treat people. None of this came to light about his infidelity towards his past exes and all of this stuff about him being with Coco Jones, Laura, Hannah, and the way that he has treated his exes. Nobody ever mentioned any of this. No one talked about it. As a matter of fact, I could have sworn I remember him being compared to Russell Wilson in so many videos. And people were talking about how a lot of men do not value men like Klay Thompson, and they're envious of him because he is like Russell Wilson. He's the kind of guy who's just so perfect. And, none of his infidelity was ever talked about. And if you're someone like me who I did not know Klay Thompson until recently, it was only a few months ago that I knew of him. I don't follow athletes, and so I did not know about his past behavior towards the people he was in a relationship with. So everything that I knew were all of these positive things that I have heard people say about him in recent times. And I believed that they were true because people do such a good job of painting a particular picture of a person. But now all of a sudden, all of these stories are starting to come out about how he's not a good guy, he's horrible, he treats his relationships horribly, and he's a user, and etc. And it's just like, wow, we are so good at hiding parts of a person that we don't want to see. We know it's there, and then we very carefully will tuck it away, and then we will portray them as this person that they 100% are not, just so that we can, gaslight ourselves, even though we already know the truth. I don't know why people do this, but it is so common. And the thing is, a lot of the time, the person, like Klay Thompson, for instance, is not the one promoting his own himself as this amazing person. He didn't make those videos talking about how he's always loyal, he's never done anything horribly to his exes, he's the best person to be in a relationship with. He did not make those videos. He didn't say that. It's other people that painted this picture. It's like people will have their expectations and then their fantasies, and they will paint a picture to convince either themselves or other people of what they want the truth to be, regardless of what the actual truth is. And then when they paint this picture of an entirely different person that they have no control over, when that person shows their true self, they will then accuse that person of being hypocritical, of being a liar, of being all of these things. Meanwhile, that person never asked for any of it. It is so it's so funny. I don't know why people do this. It's very common. It is so common. I see it all of the time. And sometimes I'm looking at the guy that they are criticizing, and I'm like, but did they ask for people to do all of this? Did they ask for people to portray them in this amazing light? Or were they just living their lives and not narrating all of their intentions beforehand? Like they're living their lives as it comes, and then people are looking at them and getting hurt about them not being this amazing, wonderful person that they believe them to be, even though they themselves never said that they were. When I saw quite a few posts comparing Klay Thompson to Russell Wilson. I kind of, because I didn't know him, and since he doesn't come across as like a street guy, I believed it because I was like, oh, okay. Plus, the fact that I never heard of him even made me think that he can't be that bad, right? Because, the thing about being a not so good person and living your life out loud is that people will hear about you. Your reputation will precede you, and not in a good way. And because I never heard of him and all of these positive things that people that seemed to follow him and know him were talking about, I assumed that he really was all about what Russell Wilson was about, like taking himself seriously, not being disloyal, or just being a good person generally, not like a perfect human being, because who is, right? But just being a good person. So I truly believe that. And now that we're finding out that he has been basically acting this exact same way with all of his previous people in his life, and people always knew about this, and now we're seeing all of these videos of people saying, see, he has done this before, this is what he does, this is just like him, I knew that this was shady, he was being disingenuous. And I'm just like, wow, when did things turn around? Like, so people have always known this, but they just somehow, the version of you that begins to populate the internet is a complete opposite of the version that previously was on the internet, even though all of this was already on the internet. But certain things are pushed depending on people's fantasies, so much so that it's like you don't really know who you think you know. And even the things that you see about people, it just depends on how people want that person to be portrayed. This causes a lot of harm because it can cause a person to decide to be friends with someone that they think they know, but they actually don't know at all. While I think that adults should be held responsible for their own actions, I also think that sometimes people are not necessarily being deceptive. It's just that we want people to be a certain way that we begin to portray them in that way, so much so that we convince ourselves that that is who they are. Because there's no reason why Klay Thompson should have had this rosy reputation that he's had all of these months if people have always known all his past behaviors. Like, why did he have that positive reputation with his relationships if it's not true. And I don't think he is to blame for this. I think that it is the people that were pushing that fake positive reputation of his and trying to compare him to someone like Russell Wilson that has proven who he is over many years, many years. From what we understand, when Russell Wilson left his first marriage, I think he was the one who suffered infidelity. He was not the perpetrator of it, and he was single for a long time. And then after he got married, he has been married for many years. He's doing all these things like adopting a child that's not biologically his and raising the child, being with his wife for many years, focusing on his career and his children, his family. I mean, if you get to know Russell Wilson, I'm sure you would see a lot of flaws, and because nobody is perfect, right? But his actions are just so obvious that even if you get to see those flaws, it does not take away from all of these other very rare positive attributes that we have seen him to display. But when people rush into forcing a man like Klay Thompson into a category that he has, quite frankly, not earned, there is nothing that Klay Thompson has done to earn all of these accolades. And I'm talking about moral, like his behavior, not his career. I'm not talking about his career in any of this. But there's nothing that he has done to allow him to have such a significantly positive impression, because clearly he has not lived up to it. Not in any of the people that he has dealt with in the past that we're now hearing about. So it's like they just try to push him into something that he's not, and this is what happens. And then he's been portrayed to be this conniving, hypocritical, fake person, even though it is not his fault that he was portrayed in such a negative light. I think Klay Thompson was just being himself, quite frankly, and people just do not like the fact that the real him does not meet up to their fantasy version of him. Here's one more thing that I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on. And it's about when you're in a relationship with someone, you're not married to them yet, and after a while of being in a relationship with them, you decide that you do not want to spend the rest of your life with them, or you're not sure if you want to spend the rest of your life with them. I don't think that in and of itself is a negative thing. I think it is painful for the person that wants to be in the relationship to be told this. It's very painful, and nobody wants to experience that. But the person who is saying that they don't want a longer term relationship than what they currently have is not in the wrong. This is the point of dating, and this is the point of being in a relationship with someone. It's to see them, get to know them, and determine if you want to spend the rest of your life with them. And if after months of being with them and understanding them, you realize you don't want to spend the rest of your life with them, the right thing to do is to tell them. Let them know as soon as you come to that conclusion, so that they can move on and find someone that wants to be with them. Because a lot of the times people will know that they don't like a person or they don't want to spend the rest of your life with them, but they will not say anything. They will go ahead and get married to that person, and then they begin to treat that person cruelly. As a matter of fact, I think majority of the time this is what happens, because there's still benefits that they get from being married to that person, and so they will not tell that person that they don't actually like that person that much, or they don't actually want to spend the rest of your life with them. And they stay there, they continue to get all of these benefits, and they treat the partner that's providing these benefits as if they are nothing, even though that person may have been the best thing to happen to them. But if someone does not value you, it doesn't matter what value you add to them, they will not appreciate it. They will see that it's valuable to them and they will use it to their maximum benefits, but they will not appreciate you for adding that value. So the best thing a person can do after months of being with you and truly understanding you, because remember, it takes a long time to really get to know a person, right? So what is wrong with someone after many months of dating and being in a relationship and meeting your family and all of these things, telling you that they do not want to be with you for the rest of their life? There actually is nothing wrong with it. It is wrong if they wait too long until the relationship progresses into a marriage, because then you have so much at stake. They're wrong if they wait until you two have children, because there's so much more at stake. And they're wrong if they lie initially and future fake before finally telling you the truth. But if they tell you when they realize that they do not want to be with you, if they see that you want something more long term, and at the moment that you let them know that you want something more long term, they let you know that they do not want something long term, that is actually not a bad thing. That's what people are supposed to do. That's the point of a relationship before marriage. So yes, it's painful, but this is the way it's supposed to go, as long as there were no lies in the beginning, But as far as Klay Thompson being, he's gonna get a lot of backlash, obviously, because people are finding out that he's not this amazing rosy man that they thought he was. But I don't know if he's to blame for that, because he did not create that reputation for himself. It's other people that kind of put their own fantasies on him, and you can't hold someone else responsible for your own fantasy. That's all I have on Klay Thompson. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.